Fox 61 News at 5 starts now.
You took my best friend and you took my kid's father, and that's something I can never get back, and that's not what he deserved. And
right now at 5, the investigation continues after a man was shot and killed. We're hearing exclusively from the victim's friends and family.
I just saw two kids laying in the middle of the road, completely motionless. It was terrifying.
Plus, 2 teens are recovering after a hit and run. We're hearing from a neighbor who saw it happen and sprung into action to help.
And 2 teens charged in a shooting and carjacking. What police are saying about the rising trend involving juveniles.
And a vigil is held for Randy Cox. He's still recovering after being left paralyzed during an incident in police custody. We're getting an update on his condition.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the news at 5. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. East Hartford police have identified a person of interest in last night's homicide. One Waterbury man is dead.
Today, close friends and family speaking out on their sudden loss and what he was like as a person. They
spoke exclusively to Fox 61's Carmen Chow. She joins us live in East Hartford with more on what she learned. Carmen, what are they telling you?
Ben and Sarah, that scene behind me is now clear, but all of last night and all of this morning, East Hartford detectives were out here combing for evidence. I did speak to some close friends who just want to know who could do something like this.
Oh my God.
Jatasia Trent overcome with grief and anger as she woke up to the news of her kid's father shot dead Wednesday night in East Hartford. Police responded to the area of Park Avenue at Garden Street shortly before 8 p.m. for a report of shots fired.
Police began taking life-saving measures immediately. The victim was identified as 28-year-old Devontae Gardner of Waterbury. He was transported to Hartford Hospital where he was later pronounced dead.
His sudden loss has his close friends and family wondering why.
You took my best friend and you took my kid's father, and that's something I can never get back, and that's not what he deserved.
Trent saying Gardner had a troubled past, but made it a mission to start over in life.
He was just trying to make an honest living for the first time in his life, do right, actually. So that's what hurt me the most, like he was doing something good for his kids.
Very respectful, had a great heart. Definitely had some troubles that he didn't deserve.
Trent telling Fox 61 Gardner worked at Simple Auto Rental, a car rental agency in Waterbury, but is unsure why he was in East Hartford that night.
We believe he was possibly here to visit a friend.
Gardner's co-workers gathered in front of the business to mourn, but were too emotional to speak on camera. Now, police are calling this an isolated incident, and there is no threat to the community. But if you did witness anything, you're urged to reach out to police immediately. I'm live in East Hartford. Carmen Chow, Fox 61 News.
All right. Thank you, Carmen. Well, new tonight, 2 teens are facing charges in Hamden in connection to a shooting and carjacking from back in July. Police say a 46-year-old man was approached by 2 suspects on 3rd Street who demanded his vehicle at gunpoint. During the robbery, the victim was shot and suffered serious injuries. Police say the suspects then stole his car. This is just one of several recent incidents in the city involving armed robberies and juveniles.
Be upticking over the last few years where people of this young age group resort to this type of violence. The consequences are you could spend a large part of your young life in jail, and that's real.
The 2 suspects, a 16-year-old from West Haven and a 16-year-old from New Haven, are now facing multiple charges. Police say the 2 were already in juvenile detention on unrelated charges.
2 juveniles were sent to the hospital after a hit and run in Wallingford yesterday evening. Tonight, police releasing surveillance video of that suspect's vehicle.
Fox 61's Alicia Machado joins us live from the Wallingford neighborhood where this all happened, and she spoke with neighbors, so she also has more on the investigation. Alicia.
Hey, good evening, guys. Yeah, neighbors tell me a group of 3 was walking here along Highland Avenue. As you can see, a busy area of traffic here when 2 of them were hit near the corner of Johnson Road. Some snack mix still here on the floor that one of them had with them. Tonight, neighbors say that one of the teens is out of the hospital, but they're hoping the person responsible comes forward. New surveillance video released by Wallingford PD shows a dark-colored pickup truck moments before a hit-and-run on Highland Avenue. Neighbor Carol Taylor and others on her block came out after hearing screaming and a car screeching.
I just saw two kids laying in the middle of the road, completely motionless. It was terrifying.
A mother of 3 kids herself, Taylor came out to help. Wallingford PD says Wednesday evening, just before 5:45, 3 juveniles were walking along Highland Avenue near Johnson Road. Neighbors say 2 teens were hit by the pickup truck traveling west down the road. Neighbors called 911 and stayed with the kids until an ambulance came.
One seemed to be a little worse than the other. One was literally face down in the middle of the road, and the other one was on his back in the grass. He actually got hit so hard his shoe came flying off. He was very concerned about his friend.
Taylor tells me the teens were responsive. They were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, according to police. Surveillance video from a nearby Ring camera caught the suspect vehicle, described as a newer model dark-colored Ram pickup truck with chrome rims. It could have damage to the front passenger side and bumper area. Neighbors say this is a high-traffic area where cars speed. They want something to be done.
More signs, extend the sidewalk. Cars come flying around the corner from this way. Cars come flying up the hill from that way. I have a 5-year-old over at Highland. I can't walk her to school because there's no sidewalk.
No criminal charges have been filed at this time since the suspect vehicle left the scene. If you know anything about what happened here, contact Wallingford PD at the number on your screen. We're live in Wallingford tonight. Alicia Machado, Fox 61 News.
Alicia, thank you. Let's get to the weather watch here. Bit of a cool start to the day, but beautiful day outside. It was great.
And a little deceiving, I guess. I don't know. I wore a sweatshirt and then I was hot. It was one of those days, right?
That's the season.
Yeah, but you can feel it. Yeah. Fall is in the air.
Hi. It's going to be even more confusing tomorrow because the morning will be cooler than today, but the afternoon will be warmer. So yeah, if you start off with a layer, for sure plan on sticking it somewhere in the afternoon that you will not need it. Right now in Farmington, there is nothing but blue skies and sunshine. It is so nice, 72 degrees right now. Dew point is way low. We started off with a beautiful sunrise this morning. I had to share this shot from Jeff Aborn in Staffordville. I love that the color of the sky in the background is different than the clouds that have become illuminated and were kind of reddish towards the bottom. Temperatures right now near 70 degrees for much of the state, but the temperatures tonight are the bigger story. As we head towards the news at 10, temperatures will be in the 50s, and by daybreak, 40s to start off the day, close to 50 at the Connecticut shoreline, and by afternoon, we'll see temperatures rebound into the mid-70s. So lots of sunshine, a cooler start, but an even warmer finish. This weekend feels very similar on Saturday with temperatures that'll be close to average, a little taste of early fall. But if you are not done with summer yet, you're going to like Sunday. We'll explain your full forecast and a check on the tropics, a new update on Tropical Storm Fiona in just a bit.
Rachel, thank you. New tonight, Hartford police are investigating after a teenager was shot this morning. Happened on Park Street just before noon. Police say an 18-year-old suffered a gunshot wound, was taken to the hospital. We're told he's in stable condition. No word on any suspects or arrests. The incident is still under investigation.
Well, court's back in session for day 3 in the Alex Jones trial. But today wasn't as much about what was said on the stand as it was about what the conspiracy theorist said on his own show. Fox
61's Matt Caron joining us live in Waterbury to break down the day's developments. Matt.
Yeah, hi guys. You know, during today's testimony, we heard clips played aloud where Jones continues his Sandy Hook lies, calling the massacre, quote, the fakest thing since the $3 bill, and saying that that school was only opened as a set for actors. But even though Jones is scheduled to testify here at his own trial, he's not going to appear until next week. Well, he's not waiting until then to comment on what's going on.
This isn't about Alex Jones. It's about the murder of free speech.
In a preview of the fireworks to come, Alex Jones, who's set to take the stand next week, is already sounding off on what he calls kangaroo court.
They're instructing the jury that I say I'm guilty and that I say I lied. No, I am innocent. I only question things. I have a right, you little liar.
On his InfoWars platform, in this thumbnail, coloring Judge Barbara Bellis's eyes red, calling her a puppet. Meanwhile, inside the court,
everyone in the company reports to Alex.
Jones's corporate attorney, Brittany Paz, continued her testimony for the second day as the prosecution tried to prove to the jury that his company used their massive audience growth in the days following his Sandy Hook lie to convince advertisers to boost their business.
Are you able to testify as Free Speech Systems corporate representative that between the years 2012 and yesterday, Free Speech Systems has made more than $100 million.
I think that's fair.
The prosecution then shifted to highlight Jones's connection to fellow Sandy Hook denier Wolfgang Halbig, who Jones hosted as a guest.
I can tell you, children did not die, teachers did not die.
He has repeatedly referred to the families as actors, correct?
He's referred to actors, plural, yes.
Is Daniel Barden an actor?
No.
Is Emily Parker an actor?
No.
Is Bill Oldenburg an actor?
No.
Cuckoo Land. Did he say your name? No. Did you ever see him talk about it? No. But he attacked me, give me all his money. Oh, please.
All right, and just to reset the table here, it's important to remember that although this is expected to be a long and emotional trial, the jury really only has one job. Alex Jones has already been found liable for damages, so their only task is to come up with a dollar amount to award to the victims' families. We're live here outside Waterbury Superior Court. Matt Caron, Fox 61 News.
Matt, thank you. We have a Fox 61 follow-up here. An East Hampton woman charged with nearly 24 counts of animal cruelty related to horses that she trained entered a plea deal today. Alexis Wall entered a not guilty plea in Middletown Superior Court. The horse trainer faces 20 counts of animal cruelty for her alleged abuse on horses that trained at White Birch Farm in Portland. Wall is due back in court next month.
We've learned the name of the man who was shot and killed in his store parking lot in Waterbury earlier this week. Police say 26-year-old Jordan Savage was shot outside the Colonial Grocer on Tuesday. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. No word on any arrests, and police are still searching for suspects.